So let's review surface area. So probably the most difficult concept we did this year. So it's a good thing to just refresh it. So surface area is the space taken up on the outside of a figure. So think of nets when you unfold them, and think about wrapping paper with no overlap. So units will always be in units squared, like centimeters squared or meters squared or kilometers squared, because it's just two-dimensional. Okay, we're going to work on surface area, but just to differentiate from volume, volume is the space inside a 3D structure. So think about filling it. Units will always be in units cubed, or something like milliliters or liters, because it has 3 dimensions. Okay, so surface area is also 3-dimensional figures, but we're looking at the space on the outside. So if we think about a prism, which you should be very confident with, if I unfold my prism, I have my 3 measurements for my length, my width, and my height. And I can work with those to calculate those different rectangles. Okay, so let's take a look at a cylinder. Okay, this is how much work we have to do. So the first thing to understand is to calculate the surface area, I need 2 pieces of information. I need my radius and I need my height. We're not even going to talk about reverse calculation when we're given the surface area. Let's just start out simple. So I've got my radius, I've got my height. The first thing I will always do, I draw the net. So the net of a cylinder, I have a circle on the top, I have a circle on the bottom, and I have a rectangle on the side. If I unfold, if I take the lid on the bottom off and unfold, it's going to become a rectangle. So I just draw that. Okay, so the first thing to calculate, well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to write down my formulas. So I have a circle, so the area of a circle is pi r squared, radius times itself multiplied by pi, which is 3.14. That's what we did last week. And the formula for calculating a rectangle is length times width. Okay, you can see I have my 15 centimeters as my width, or, you know, in grade 8 we call it a height. It's like a length and a height. And on my circle I have my radius. So I have almost everything. I am missing this length here. Okay, so I guess the first thing, what I like to start, I like to get the circles out the way. Okay, so to calculate the circles, pi r squared, my radius is 4, so 4 times 4 times pi is going to give me 50.24 centimeters squared. So that's the area inside that circle. My top and bottom are going to be identical. So I have 2 pieces of information already. Okay, I have my top, I have my bottom. It's done. This is the one confusing part. I recognize that if I was to unfold from right here, let's say I cut this and then I stretch this out, the length of this, it's going to create a rectangle that looks something like that. And that would be right there. And this would be right here. Okay, so it's really important to understand I'm not missing anything, but what I'm missing, this side length, which I don't know, is actually the circumference of the circle. So circumference is 2 times pi times my radius. So 2 times pi times 4, or 2 times 3.14 times 4, is going to give me 25.12 centimeters. So now I have my length and I have my width. I can multiply length times width to find out the area of this rectangle. So I have 376 centimeters squared. That's my 3 pieces of information that I need. So my surface area, I add my circle to my rectangle to my circle. So there's my top, there's my bottom, there's my rectangle, and there is my surface area. Okay, it's a massive multi-step process to get there. But if you watch this video 2 or 3 times, or if you try an example that I'm going to assign today, and you stop and you pause and you follow all of those instructions, you should be able to do it. Okay, make sure you use your calculators. Make sure that you, when you're doing area of a circle, you square your radius first before multiplying by pi.